Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting for Wednesday, September 9th, 2015. At this time, would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman, the chief of the fire department has been kind enough to bring to the meeting to introduce the...
Can I ask a favor first? A moment of silence for 9/11 is this Friday, September 11th.
Sure. You all please rise. A moment of silence. Memory of 9/11. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Sorry.
All right, chief, why don't you take charge?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to take a few minutes. I know it's been a couple of weeks since they actually started. I told the board that I would have the two new individuals that joined the ranks of the full-time force come up and introduce them to the board to you. It's been several years and trying to accomplish a bunch of different things as far as manning and call increases. So we're trying to add some more staff to the ranks. So tonight I have with me, this is Tyler Nicolin, this is Chairman Dean Cronin, and Selectman Patrick Menzies.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Nice to meet you.
And this is Alex Green, our other full-time member. Chairman,
Let's have you on board.
Mr. Menzies.
Congratulations very much.
So the two of them have passed successfully their physical, their HRD, Human Resource Development entry-level firefighter physicals. They've done their mass fit testing, drug testing, all that kind of, the actual testing. I was able to send the applications with all the completed paperwork to the academy today for a date for when they could start to go to the fire academy, but they're both paramedics. At this time we're filling, Alex is filling the empty slot we had with the other individual is out. Tyler is on group 1, so it's actually a 3-man group right now. That was our ultimate goal, to have 3 men on each shift to alleviate some of the issues with getting A2 out the door. It has worked very well as far as inspections, and there's been a couple of times that we've got the second ambulance out. So we're working in the right direction, and I appreciate your support, and hopefully we can get that other 3rd man down the road and get the rest of the groups up to 3 men. If you have any questions or anything that you like to ask.
Well, we probably should hear from the new appointees themselves.
I told them they wouldn't have to say much. Now you put them on the spot.
Everybody around here has to make a speech. That's all there is to it. If I have to make speeches, you have to make speeches. No, in all seriousness, what prompted you to commit to the sacrificial position of a firefighter? What is it about the job that let's put it this way, some of us have a fear of climbing ladders. Most of us don't like to be in a burning building, and for some of us the sight of blood is not the most appealing thing. What is it that inspired you to commit to serving your fellow man in this capacity? Would you like to say a few words?
I mean, this field definitely takes a special person to be in it. You know, I think if you don't want to be in this field, you're not going to be successful. And it kind of takes the kind of person. You know, you got to be a selfless person. You got to be willing to give up yourself for others and go the extra mile. So at the end of the day, if you're willing to do that every day when you wake up, then you can be happy doing it. So, I mean, definitely not the the everyday, every person type deal. You either love it or hate it.
What do you care to share with us about the academy? What would you like to say about what you think?
As far as going to the academy, I'm excited. I'm very excited to learn some new stuff, you know. There's a lot of stuff on the fire side I haven't gotten too deep into yet. I'm excited to learn some new things. So definitely looking forward to going there. All about the new experiences, learning new things.
I've seen your colleague already at work at the fire station on a hot afternoon polishing a fire engine. Was it the fire, was it
It's ambulance 2, I believe.
ambulance 2, A2, I'm sorry, that's right. And we didn't have much of an opportunity to converse that day. I was conversing with one of the police officers who happened to stop in the parking lot at the same time. But if you would, what about it? What prompted you to go this road?
Well, as far as emergency medical services, the whole paramedic aspect, I started EMT school with aspiration to be a paramedic, and from there I grew into the fire service. Because in today's day and age, that seems to be the way it goes. Paramedics generally branch off to the fire service, and the fire service has always been something that's interested me. I grew up a block away from a fire station my entire life, so fire trucks were always definitely an aspect I saw growing up every day. As far as the academy, it's something I open with welcome arms. Something I know I hear it's a grueling task, but it's something I'm definitely open to doing, and I'm excited to start a new branch in my life.
Have you done anything special, either of you or both of you, to prepare yourselves for the academy?
Lots of cardio,
Yeah.
exercising. Yep.
The good old running in this wonderful hot weather we're having is a great thing, let me tell you. Feels good.
Well, it'll do one of two things, so hopefully the former and not the latter, that's all.
I only have a couple questions, and I ask the same question to every new employee. I don't care, you know, what department they're going to. Why Dayton?
You know, I've always lived right in the town line of Dayton my whole life, and Dayton always has this feel to it, you know, like I've told everyone here in the department, you know, any department where you can get in the ambulance, the rescue, the engine, whatever it is, and you drive down to the street and you need to wave to every car that comes past you, you know, it gives you that comfortable at-home feeling that I've worked in a lot of other communities that it doesn't really give you. So the fact it's close to my house and feels like the community's really open arms, they support the department and stuff like that. Everyone's pretty close, you know, everyone knows each other in Dayton, so I kind of like that whole aspect.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
It didn't take them long to figure that out.
We won't get into specifics.
Save that for another time.
Alex, what about you?
I agree with Tyler. The whole family aspect of Dayton is definitely appealing. Seems like everybody knows each other. Small knit community is definitely appealing, but also the aspect of the fire service and EMS service being combined in this community is definitely appealing, and I think it's a great service to the community of Dayton.
Good. Second one is, where did you get your experience paramedic?
I started off working for a private EMS company out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. We started doing transports, inter-hospital transports. We did city backup for the city of New Bedford. While I was doing that, I was also working in Swansea. After a while, I got offered a full-time position in Swansea. I ended up leaving my position in New Bedford to stay in Swansea full-time, further myself there. So until this opportunity came around, I was working in Swansea full-time, day in and out over there, just getting the experience in that 911 system.
Actually, Tyler and myself's career experience has been exactly the same. We started EMT school at the same time, we started paramedic school at the same time. We both worked in New Bedford doing interfacility transfers. We both did New Bedford City backup.
We graduated high school together, too.
We both graduated paramedic.
Were you the only two that applied?
No.
Okay.
I was wondering how far back we go here.
We're following each other around here for a little while, but
So yeah, we've had the same journey, but we both have worked in Swansea for the past 40 years about now. So
You did go through a considerable process, actually, to be appointed. You have an application system and a board in place. You have a selection board comprised of senior
Yeah, we actually posted it in-house to see if there was any individuals that were interested in it. And we gave it a couple of weeks for applications to be submitted. At that time, myself and the office as deputy chief, captain, lieutenant, and the union president went through them. We sorted through them, and we had interviews right here downstairs at town hall, kind of a neutral place, so everybody would feel a little bit, out of their element, out of the station, so nobody would really give them some comfort out of the way. We conducted the interviews. We have a rating system that we've designed to ask them questions, kind of general questions about fire EMS service, about what they like, what they don't like, as far as shift schedules, working overtime, being able to be called back, their availability, kind of a 2-page general questionnaire just to feel them out, and we score them. At the end of the scoring, we total it, and we comprise the 5 or 6 of us on the panel, the officers and myself, and we categorize it like that, just so it gives it a little backup for make sure everybody's on the same page. If one person didn't miss something that might have been said, and then we convene and we come up with a ranking. This time here we only had 2 positions. We had 1 last time, so we kind of rank them. How if we had 4 people, we rank them 1 through 4, and gives us a little bit more backing to, in case there was any questions of how there was no favoritism or is anything like that. We had some little documentation backup of what they do, but both of them are very, very good individuals, very polite. They've interacted with the public. We've had them out doing driver training, a little bit of pump operations with the engines, get the feel of it, a little driving of the trucks to get the feel of the roads in Dayton, different landmarks of the schools, the buildings and stuff like that, so they know. Doing a little bit of street acknowledgement as far as how the numbering system works. A little bit of everything. They do the chores in the morning, all the apparatus gets checked, the stations get cleaned. As you saw Alex maintaining the apparatus, they're both very energetic. So it's good to see some of the younger generation aspire to getting into this profession and starting off training the right way. Mr. Medeiros was on Tyler's group, and he's been taking him out under his wing a little bit and kind of teaching him. He's been there for quite some time, so that group is working out very well. And Alex is on the lieutenant's group, so he's been trying to do the best and get through that. So they've been both working out excellent so far. The next step is the academy, get that under their wings. They'll graduate with their firefighter 1 and 2 certificate, their basic hazardous materials response certificates, and Patrick, you remember that we had to do that for the grant. We wanted to know how many first responders, so that was all factored into it. So department is going in the right direction. We'll hopefully down the road we'll be able to add some more to get the groups the way we need them and staff the apparatus, but that's a work in progress.
The fire service has changed a great deal over the years. Not merely what it does, but what the public expects of it. Back in the day when houses were built of wood and we had an occasional thing or two made of brick or cast iron, the house burned to the ground. If you got everybody evacuated, there wasn't too much lost and there wasn't a lot of toxicity. And the chances of hazardous materials, I'm not saying that there weren't any, but it wasn't. Today houses are built of a lot of synthetics. There are a lot of challenges in a fire, needless to say, that didn't exist years ago. Hazardous material response is a big part of emergency responder training. And as far as paramedics are concerned, EMTs, we should say now, the expectations of the public today far surpass anything even 5 years ago. The expectations of the public for rapidity of response and expertise upon arrival and life support until the hospital takes over. It's the expectations of the public are very high. All of that said, aside from the things that are not discretionary because they're expected and required, you still have to save a piece of your hat, because if you weren't inspired to do it voluntarily, you never would make the sacrifice. We did have a moment of silence here at the beginning of this hour for those who perished on 9/11, and we remember among them an entire company of the New York City Fire Department that was lost in that horrific tragedy. Needless to say, thank God, we don't look forward to being targeted in that way in Dayton. However, we must not be complacent that tragedies don't occur. And we understand when we welcome a new firefighter into the department, that it is with the possibility that you may be called upon to do what you were inspired to do in a way that will command the awe of those who survive you. God bless you for it, and good luck at the academy. You probably will be the last 2 new firefighters that I will participate in welcoming into the department.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, if I might just remind you, the next couple of weeks, we'll get emails and stuff out to you. October 3rd at 10 a.m. Is that right? October 3rd, 10 a.m., we're going to dedicate the piece of steel that we got from New York from 9/11 at Station 2. The monuments will be installed by then, within the next week or so. So just if you would want to remind on your reminder list that October 3rd, which is a Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, we'll have a little ceremony at Station 2. The monument will be in place, the piece of steel will be in place, and we're going to have a few readings. We're going to try to read all of the fallen brothers that perished on that day. So we'll have a little small ceremony there. If you want to just remind the public, anybody wants to attend.
And we'll be announcing that every week.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. Gentlemen, congratulations. Learn well and stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thanks for having a moment of silence. Thank you.
Next, we'll approve the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of the executive session of August 27, 2015 regarding union matters stand approved as prepared for our approval by the administrative assistant.
At this time, I'll step down and second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of September 2nd, 2015 stand approved as prepared for our approval by the administrative assistant.
I'll step down and second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? None being, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next on the agenda, approval of the warrants.
Mr. Chairman, I move that warrant 11A-16 in the amount of $73,461.65 dated September 9th, 2015, and warrant 11B-16 in the amount of $108,415.96 dated September 9th, 2015, stand approved as prepared for our approval by the town accountant.
Motion's been made, and I'll step down and second it. Any further discussion? None being, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence. First piece of correspondence that was received here at the Selectman's office came from the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. This is more of a directive toward those who wish to submit written comments may do so for the Region C, which is our region of the state. These comments must be received by Friday, September 11th. It goes on to say that the Massachusetts Gaming Commission is seeking comments on the request by the Mass Game and Entertainment LLC that the commission make an immediate determination that the commission will issue a casino license in Region C if it determines that a Region C gaming applicant meets all of the criteria for issuance of such a license, and it is in the best interest of the Commonwealth, regardless of whether or not the United States Secretary of the Interior puts land into trust in Taunton for the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe prior to the issuance of this casino license. The Commission's current plan and policy, a policy has applied to in all licensing decisions thus far, is that it will make a determination on whether to issue a license only after its review of the full gaming application, and then only if its review shows that issuance of a license would be beneficial to the Commonwealth, given the totality of the then existing and foreseeable economic circumstances. For this Region C area, the review, this totality would include the potential for competition by a tribal casino. And again, they ask and urge those who wish to submit written comments, do so by emailing mgc.comments@state.ma.us. And I'll repeat that. The email address is mgc.comments@state.ma.us. And please insert Region C in the subject line. And that deadline has now been extended for one additional week, so you have until Friday, September 15th, to submit those written comments.
Friday, September 15th?
I think it's the 18th.
18th, I'm sorry. Second piece of correspondence was from Governor Baker regarding Emergency Preparedness Month. This was dated September 4th, 2015. Governor Baker proclaims Emergency Preparedness Month. In an effort to enhance awareness of the importance of emergency preparedness for families and individuals, Governor Charlie Baker has proclaimed September to be Emergency Preparedness Month in the Commonwealth. Working with the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security and the Department of Public Health, the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency will promote public preparedness and safety throughout the month. These efforts are in conjunction with a nationwide effort to encourage all Americans to take simple steps to better prepare themselves and their families for emergencies at home, work, and school. Governor Baker's proclamation states, "Emergency preparedness is the responsibility of every resident of the Commonwealth, and families and individuals are urged to make preparedness a priority. All citizens of the Commonwealth are encouraged to participate in citizen preparedness activities and asked to use the preparedness resources at www.mass.gov/MEMA to become more prepared." Here, they also give you a, I know we had I had a call this past week. We had mentioned in a previous correspondence of an alert that's available for your smartphones, and some people had asked if we repeat this. You can receive Massachusetts Alert, which is emergency information on your smartphone, which includes severe weather alerts from the National Weather Service and emergency information from MEMA. All you have to do is download the Massachusetts Alert, which is free. To learn more about it, visit www.mass.gov/MEMA/mobile app. Again, I'll repeat that. This is the Massachusetts Emergency Alerts, www.mass.gov/MEMA/mobile app. I know I've had that on my phone now for a few years, and you know very well when there's foul weather or inclement weather coming, or snowstorms, and it's pretty accurate. So I'd urge all that may be interested to download that app. And this is the proclamation that we received, which we will be displaying outside the office here. Anyone that wishes to take a little reading of it, or take a little snapshot on your smartphone, feel free to do so. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have a few announcements we'd like to make. The Board of Selectmen and the Board of Health have resumed their normal meeting schedules. The Board of Selectmen's meetings will be held weekly, and the Board of Health will be scheduled every 2 weeks. The Board of Health has Sharps disposal containers for sale for Dayton residents only at the office. $3 for a quart size, $6 for a gallon size, and $7.50 for a 2-gallon size. Once they're full, they can be brought back to the Board of Health for proper disposal at no additional cost. Recycling stickers are available for $1 for recycling containers of your choice. We've had a lot of new faces come to the Board of Selectmen's office in the last few weeks. These are new residents who have moved into one of the newly built homes or have purchased another home. And they come up here asking for information on trash pickup and recycling and everything to that matter. Every so often, I like to repeat this, even though it's not the Board of Health. We do not sell the recyclable bins anymore, since we're on a every 2 week schedule of receiving all your recyclables. They somewhat became not the best use because of their size. So we discontinued selling those, and we allow any resident to purchase or use any container that they wish. All we ask is to somehow identify that container that you will be using for recyclables. Sometimes people have these big 2-wheel containers that they throw their trash bags into on top of recyclables, and the doggone truck drivers and their helpers don't know, what's in there. We have had problems with some of the containers being so big that the one person who's working off the back of the truck can't even pick it up. So you kind of have to use your own judgment. Number one, identify the container that you're putting your recyclables in. That's why we have the stickers on sale for $1. You just stick it on there, your long-lasting adhesive. And second of all, make sure that the container you're using can be lifted by a single person working the trash hauler's truck. The dedication ceremony that Chief Roderick just mentioned for 9/11 Memorial, which was to have taken place on September 11th at 5 p.m., has been postponed until Saturday, October 3rd at 10 a.m. So that new date is Saturday, October 3rd, 2015, 10 a.m. at the Fire Station, North Dayton. On November 11th, 2015, at 11 a.m. at Town Hall, there will be an unveiling of a 48-star United States flag given by the family of Byron E. Haskins, who was a World War II Bronze Star recipient. All are invited. For more information, contact Donald Hershey, our Veterans Agent, at 508-669-5027. There will be a special town election on Saturday, September 26, 2015, to fill a vacancy on the Board of Selectmen. It will be held at the Dayton Elementary School from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, that special election is September 26, 2015. Absentee ballots for the upcoming election are now available at the town clerk's office. These are for people who will be out of town or for medical reasons cannot attend the election on September 26, 2015. For more information, please contact the clerk's office at 508-669-5411. The fall special town meeting will be held on Monday, September 21st, 2015, at 7 p.m. at the Dayton Middle School. The Friends of the Dayton Public Library will be hosting Taste of Dayton, which will be held on Monday, September 14th, 2015, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Lions Pavilion right here in back of Town Hall. Again, that's this upcoming Monday, September 14th, for the Taste of Dayton. There is a prescription drug drop box now located at the Dayton Police Station. Please limit your disposal items to pill form prescriptions only. This is not for liquid medication or any syringes, needles, only just pill form prescriptions. More information to follow. You may also contact the Dayton Police Station with any questions at 508-669-6711. Old business. Other than Mr. Menges and myself, there is none? New business. Review, discuss, and act above, approve recommendations of the highway superintendent for the purchase of Jersey barriers for the town. Our superintendent, Mr. Thomas Ferry, very diligently contacted several local contractors for pricing on used Jersey barriers. I'll just quickly go through all of these. These are the contractors that Mr. Ferry contacted. G. Lopes, who did not have any Jersey barriers, but he did have blocks, which he was not looking for. A. Resendes, which did not have any Jersey barriers. Pavo Construction gave a price quote of $150 each. J.J. Hooks gave a price quote of $250 each. And Shea Concrete gave a bid of $260 each. He's looking for 12 used barriers. And we have a little discrepancy here. I think we have to get a clarification on this because Mr. Ferry's recommendation was to award the bid to Pavo Construction. And here he says that they were the lowest bid at $115 each. And on the spec sheet, spreadsheet was $150 each. So I'm not sure which one's right. Either way, he was the lowest bidder, but there's a difference between $115 and $150.
Yeah, I see that sheet, please, Mr. Ray.
And the award letter says $115. But I'm not I'd like to get clarification on that.
Did the verbal request that he made specify Jersey barriers?
Yes.
So G. Lopes is out,
Right,
Resendes had none,
right.
J.J. Hooks is 250, and Shea Concrete is 260.
Right.
So even at 150, Pavo is the only qualifying, Pavo is the low qualifying bidder at 150.
Right.
I think we can safely say that the superintendent probably made a mistake in the letter. But I think even at $150, it appears that
They are the lowest bidder.
Pavo is the lowest that qualified. G. Lopes gave prices on blocks, but had no Jersey barriers. And Resendes had none.
And I'll entertain a motion to accept the low bidder's price from Pavo Construction with the condition that it's specified 115 or 150 each.
I'll second the motion, I think. Yeah, I'll second the motion. This,
Now you have to make the motion.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'll make the motion. Now, let me ask you though, before we proceed to a vote, is this the sheet on which he personally took down the, he wrote these down on this sheet with his own hand?
Oh, the secretary, same person did.
I think we just need to call him in the morning and see whether the letter needs to say 115 or 150.
Right.
But I do,
Either way, there, he's the low bidder.
yeah.
I'll step down and second that motion. Any further discussion? We'll wait to sign that.
Absolutely.
If there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 15, 150. Second piece of new business, review, discuss, and act to send a renewal letter to the Berkeley Board of Selectmen with regard to Veterans Agent Agreement. This is usually a yearly announcement or piece of business that we enact. As it stands, our veterans agent, Mr. Donald Hershey, splits some of his working hours with the town of Berkeley, servicing the veterans that sign up and are eligible for benefits in that town. We have a working agreement with the town of Berkeley to share our veterans agent, and they in turn pays him separately, directly, a certain amount of money, and for the use of our secretarial help and the duties and paperwork that she has to do along with supplies. So this letter will be sent to them on a, like I said, an annual, every year the same time. It says, the Dayton Board of Selectmen wishes to renew the agreement made by the two towns regarding our veterans agent. Our agreement is that the town of Berkeley will forward to Dayton $1,000 for expenses and $3,000 toward the secretary's salary. This amount is agreed to for the fiscal year 2016. Please forward this payment to the town of Dayton. If this is agreed upon, please sign and return this letter as soon as possible. This will be mailed out to the town of Berkeley Board of Selectmen tomorrow morning. We just have to sign those.
Shall we affix our signatures to it now?
Yep.
Did we vote to approve this as of the last meeting? I know we've discussed this, but have we taken a vote?
No.
Do we need a vote? I'll make a motion that we approve
That letter. Yep.
the invoicing of the town of Berkeley as outlined in the letter.
I'll step down a second. Any further discussion? None being, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Do we have any reports tonight?
The only report I would say is that the mandates of the board proceeding out of our last two meetings are being executed ministerially as voted, including the posting of the impending removal of a fence across Lot 82 of the nature trail, the working out of the details of a draft agreement for the purchase of land contiguous to the elementary school, contingent on the approval of the Finance Committee in the town meeting. And the process of obtaining a contractor to proceed with a solar installation on the landfill, which has been outlined in a piece of correspondence that we forwarded to Mr. Rhines, who asked for the details at our meeting at the highway garage 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I guess it was now. We are proceeding apace, and the mandates of the board voted at our last two meetings are being executed slowly but surely. Everything is a process. We have incurred no impediments in these initiatives.
Pretty much covers it. Can't think of anything else that's gone on today. Any acknowledgements? Seems to be a simple agenda tonight.
Well, we do need to thank the inspectors, the school administration, and especially the personnel of the elementary school, the custodial personnel especially, whose hard work in the hours immediately prior to the opening of school ensured that the school opened safely without interior remodeling construction going on, and classroom furniture all in place as we had asked for the opening day of school. It was very important to this board that the schools open without construction going on this year. Last year, the roofing project had to be carried on even after the start of school. We were fortunate to have the cooperation not only of the school administration, Dr. Azar, Mrs. Antonellis, but also the contractor and the custodial personnel. As Mr. Braga said last week, new boilers at the high school on the 1st of October. Thank God. And we want to acknowledge everyone whose cooperation and hard work has made a success of the opening of school this year. I happened to be stopping by at the Elementary School to drop off a copy of the Emergency Preparedness Month proclamation of the governor, and I was on hand for the first fire drill, and it was a success. And I went in, and the secretary commented, "Well, it's Emergency Preparedness Month, and you've seen our first fire drill." And I said, that's correct, I said, and it was good to see that it was successful.
Very good, very good. Any public input? Nancy?
Today was the first meeting of the MMA Policy Committee on Energy and Environment. And the entire meeting was about whether or not the state should have primacy for issuing NPDES permits. Right now, the federal government, the EPA, controls stormwater, wastewater, drinking water, all water. There are only 3 states in the country that have, where the federal government has primacy: Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and New Mexico. There were 4, but Idaho just went with local primacy. So the mayor from Marlborough was there, Paul Hogan from Woodard and Curran, who is the NPDES delegation, on the delegation advisory committee, a former employee of DEP, who's retired. Marty Suberg, who is the DEP commissioner, and Beth Card from DEP. And Vin McCarthy and Tom Champion from the Office of the State Auditor, Division of Local Mandates. The estimated price tag to have the state take primacy for this is somewhere between $10 and $14 million for about 100 employees and office space and the whole thing. And of course, the state doesn't intend to pay for that. It would be a burden on the ratepayers, because it would be attached to use of water. We discussed it at length. Again, my question was, well, I've heard the presentation, I've heard the cost, I'm waiting to hear the benefits. I can't really say anywhere identified other than the fact you'd be dealing with the state DEP instead of the EPA. But in response to one of my questions, if the state takes it over, and let's assume, just for discussion purposes, there is a state out there whose state mandated rules and regs would be less of a burden to the people of Massachusetts than are currently in place. Would we be allowed to go with those regs? And basically the answer was no, that Massachusetts has some of the most stringent water regulations already on the books, and those won't change. So to wrap the whole thing up, what we decided to do as a committee was to send a letter to the State Auditor's Office, Division of Local Mandates, to get more information, because obviously, right now, this whole program is a federal mandate. If it goes to the state, it will be a state mandate, as in unfunded mandates. So personally, having dealt with stormwater, I don't see a lot of benefit to this. The environmental groups are fighting it because they said that DEP is weaker on enforcement than the federal government. So anyhow, this will be coming down the pike. We're going to have stormwater forever. It's like landfill testing. It's never going to go away. At the Finance Committee meeting, Tom Ferry did mention the need to set up a line item or a budget, a department budget, to deal with stormwater. At this point in time, there's no way to determine what it would cost us, but in listening to the mayor of Marlborough, I think we're in pretty good shape. He's looking at over $1 million, and yet he's been given conflicting information. If it goes to the state, he could spend $100,000, not $1 million. So there's just a lot of confusion about this, and as I say, our whole meeting, this was the topic. So I have an article here that I'll give you, which I think is a little ridiculous. This was in the Globe yesterday, and it talks about how the towns and cities should just do their thing and come up with the money to take care of this which in effect, across the state, you could be talking in the billions. We don't have to deal with things like Marlboro and the situation with the Assabet Valley and the Assabet River and the communities along that river. But there are a number of endangered rivers in the state. And fortunately, we don't have any here. But, so there'll be more coming down the pike on this. MMA, the policy committee, will send a letter to the state auditor's office, Division of Local Mandates, trying to get some direction. They did not, at this point, support this primacy either.
Thank you.
So it's just something that you'll hear about forever and ever, budget discussions and
Read the next to last paragraph. Where's the burden go to? Businesses and homeowners. What's that?
There was a gentleman that had come in a few months ago about possibly doing a community garden. I'm just wondering if that went anywhere.
Not that I'm aware of. I know he had mentioned to us he had a couple sites that he was gonna go talk to the people. It's kind of late now. You know?
I'm just curious for,
I didn't hear anything back.
I know it would take a few months to get in place.
Right. It's a good idea. What else? Oh, I'm pretty well set. How about you? Managers?
Well, I have one odd remark that I care to interject before the end of the proceedings. I say odd because it's unusual, and it's not going to reoccur in our lifetimes, but this moment belongs really to our veterans who fought in the two world wars, I and II, when we were closely allied with England. There are, I believe, well, I don't know how many still live, but we certainly had a number of service members from Dighton who were in England 70 plus years ago during the Second World War, some awaiting the Normandy invasion and what have you. And at that time, there was also in England a young girl who, she was a Jeep mechanic, as it turned out, celebrated a remarkable anniversary today. An anniversary which, had Hitler had his way, she would not have observed. And that little girl is, as of today, going to begin her 65th year as the longest reigning monarch in the history of England, Queen Elizabeth II. That throne would not exist if not in part because of the blood of our soldiers as well as England's. And throughout Queen Elizabeth's reign, England has remained a steadfast ally of the United States, a bulwark against communism, a bulwark against terrorism, a symbol of the continuity of the values that girded the victory and that we have carried with us through the succeeding decades. And so, on this night, today is the day upon which she passed Queen Victoria as the longest reigning monarch in the history of England. This is the day, the 9th of September, 2015. we have to say, as independent Americans since 1776, but living in a town that was under the British Crown for its first 64 years, we have to say, God save the Queen, and may there always be an England.
Good. Very good. Very good. That's it? Very good. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll step down a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So hope not. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, Cable, and thank you all for joining us tonight.